All right. Right here, Carly.
He said we have Please no. Please no. You were just gonna
Is it good? Honored guests, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem performed by Class of 2020 alumna Sumner Chambers. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. The President of the University, James E. Ryan.
Mr. Rector, members of the Board of Visitors, graduates, colleagues, family, friends, welcome. And a special welcome to all who are joining us on live stream from points around the world. My name is Jim Ryan. I'm the president of the University of Virginia, and it is my honor to be the host of this graduation-ish ceremony. Let me start by saying that you are by far and without any doubt the most impressive and talented class ever to attend a postponed final exercises. In all seriousness, I've been looking forward to this moment for a very long time because I'd like to be the first to officially welcome the class of 2020 back to grounds. It may be a little damp, but this is the brightest day I've seen in well over a year. Now, of course, you will always be welcome back, as I'll describe at the end of this ceremony, and I hope you're already making plans to return next summer, but I'm sorry to say that this will likely be the last graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. Fortunately, it's going to be a great one because we have Melody Barnes here to deliver the graduation address, along with some live performances and a surprise or two. Oh, yeah, stay tuned. So I've said many times before, and I'm sure we'll say many times again, that no one makes it to graduation alone. For that reason, I'd like to congratulate and thank all the parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, family and friends in the audience today, both in person and online. You have supported these alumni at every step of the way, and this ceremony is as much for all of you as it is for the class of 2020. I would ask that the class of 2020 stand, turn to the audience, and see how loud you can be in thanking your friends and family. I'd also like to thank the staff and volunteers who have worked incredibly hard under some very challenging circumstances to make this event happen. And please join me in giving them a round of applause. And to the class of 2020, congratulations and thank you for your patience and flexibility. Normally, final exercises is a rock-solid point on the calendar that you know about years in advance and can count on. Not this time. As with almost everything else during this pandemic, uncertainty reigned, and you had to suffer through several changes of plans and a number of curveballs, including the recent gas shortage. About which all I could say after everything else that happened this year was, really? When are the locusts coming? And then someone reminded me about the cicadas. In any event, I know that just getting here was no small feat for many of you. I'm glad you stuck with it, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you here. During my virtual graduation speech to you last year, I rambled on a bit about coffee, which I know is often the subject of graduation speeches, and then asked several questions. What did you carry with you as you left UVA so quickly and unexpectedly in the spring of 2020? What did you leave behind, and did you miss any of it? And more generally, I asked what you wanted to carry with you when the world reopens and life restarts. I expressed my hope that you carry with you the core values of this place, like trust, honor, and integrity. I hope you'd also carry forward the lessons you learned here, like how to think and read critically, how to empathize, how to lead, and how to build bridges across lines of differences. I continue to have all those hopes for you, but seeing you here, surrounded by your friends and your family, it's clear to me that you've all carried with you perhaps the most important thing of all, the people you love and the people who love you. I hope you cherish this moment together. It was a long time in coming, but some things are worth waiting for, and we will do our best to make it unforgettable. So welcome again to all of you, and now it is my honor to turn the podium over to our rector and my friend, Jim Murray. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of the board, congratulations. Above all else, first and foremost, for everlasting time, congratulations. Grand for you, grand for your parents, grand for your grandparents. Big day, day of your life. You don't get cake with this day each year, but it's an important day. This is the day when life gets seriously interesting. Interesting in the sense that unknowable things are interesting. You've had some interesting experiences already. March 2020. The world tells you, go inside, put on a mask, and don't mingle. Whatever you do, don't mingle. Oh, and by the way, graduation is postponed. Well, things got interesting at my graduation here, but in different ways. 1968, April 4, Dr. King was shot in Memphis. 2 months later, 4 days before our graduation, June 5, Bobby Kennedy was shot in Los Angeles. 53 years ago, we had our own version of collective trauma, a war in Vietnam, a war in which many UVA graduates participated, whether they wanted to or not. Yes, life throws many curves. You've learned that. But it's all relative. On my graduation day, what did I have in my pocket? My truck keys and my pocket knife, I think. What do you have in your pocket? You have the world. That little computer you're clutching, the whole messy world is right there. And try not looking at it while I'm talking. You don't need to text your aunt right now. That machine, that phone, that technology, like cars appearing for the first time on a dusty road or planes suddenly crossing the sky, has fundamentally changed our lives. You and the world communicating continuously. Well, pass this message on. Time goes quick, quicker than ever, and you best manage it well. Years ago, in a film with some dialogue written by Truman Capote, a character says, time, time. What is time? Time is a crook. Well, if time is a crook, technology has become an accessory to the crime. Make sound choices with your time. That's my best advice. I have more. Fix a portion of your time for learning. UVA helped get you to this point, but you really can't stop anymore. There's no walking away, not anymore. No walking away from new things. Things you need to know, to learn, to understand. The mobile digital world of social media, on-demand entertainment, and nonstop anxiety-driven news will continuously vie for your attention for the rest of your life. Which of you will succeed? Who will struggle? My prediction? Those of you who manage your time, those with time discipline, you will come out ahead. Discipline, you ask? Why don't we just declare victory today? That would rob you of opportunities, unprecedented opportunities. At some point, you may be tempted to stop. Stop what you've been doing here. Stop learning. Mistake. Seek new knowledge, always. Then seek more for the rest of your life. And finally, come back to Charlottesville. You'll be welcome here forever. Circle back, you must. Tell us what you've seen, the glories of your life. Bring us new lessons, new knowledge. Come tell us stories. And good luck with it all. Just as war tripped up our classes of 50 years ago, COVID tripped you up a bit. No question, but we prevailed. More accurately, you have already prevailed. Given the strength you've gained, no UVA class has ever been promised a brighter future. Spend your time wisely, and that future may become yours. Now, my main duty today is to introduce our keynote speaker. I'm honored to do so. Melody Barnes was educated at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and earned her law degree from the University of Michigan Law School. Following an early career as a corporate lawyer in New York, she entered government service, and among other positions, she served as the Director of Legislative Affairs at the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, as Assistant Counsel to the Subcommittee on Civil and Constitutional Rights of the House Judiciary Committee, and as General Counsel and Chief Counsel to Senator Edward M. Kennedy on the Senate Judiciary Committee. She later served as Executive Vice President at the Center for American Progress, a progressive think tank. When Barack Obama was running for president, Ms. Barnes was the senior domestic policy advisor to his campaign. She worked on the transition team for Obama and Vice President Biden, and from 2009 to 2012, she served in President Obama's White House as Assistant to the President and Director of the White House Domestic Policy Council. After leaving government service, she formed her own strategy advising firm. In 2013, she joined the faculty of NYU as Vice Provost for Global Student Leadership Initiatives and as Senior Fellow at NYU's Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. In 2016, we were fortunate enough to induce Melody to join us as a visiting professor and senior fellow at the Miller Center. She serves as the Dorothy Danforth Compton Professor at the Miller Center and Distinguished Fellow at the Law School, and is co-director of the university's interdisciplinary Democracy Initiative. The work she has begun with the Democracy Initiative is one of the most promising developments we've seen at UVA in a decade or more. It has been one of my most rewarding activities as rector to be able to lend a hand there. to someone I greatly admired. Please welcome Melody Barnes.
Thank you, Rector Murray, for that wonderful introduction. It is my honor and my pleasure to be here as part of the live sequel to last year's digital graduation. I'm delighted to congratulate you all and to welcome you back to grounds for the ceremony that you so richly, richly deserve. You know, I was recently reminded that last year's graduation speaker was the virtual President Ryan, who's a hard act to follow even a year later. But for all of your sakes, I'm hoping that I can be the rare season 2 that outshines season number 1. Or at least Godfather 2, which gave The Godfather a run for its money. When Jim invited me to give today's address, I thought back to my own graduation, and this is what I realized. I could not tell you whether it was a man or a woman who spoke that day. Not only that, but my sorority sisters managed to unearth a photo of that graduation, and let's just say this. It's a close call as to whether or not we were in deep, deep reflection or whether we were napping. Now, I'm not proud of that, but it does serve as a poignant reminder that I should be brief. The class of 2020, for as much as you've lost over the past year, is one that I will never forget. Your strength, your patience, your passion make you one of the most special classes ever to graduate from UVA. And I have the privilege of addressing a class that isn't 5 minutes past its last final exam. You've been out there in the world, you've been working, caring for others, volunteering in your home communities. Maybe some of you had a chance to rethink your goals and what you wanted to pursue and your priorities. Maybe others of you have to make ends meet and to keep yourselves and your families safe and healthy. Whatever you've been doing, you are already proud UVA alumni, and it is so good to have you back at your intellectual home. So given that context, I decided to scrap all of the usual graduation exhortations about sending you out into the world. And instead, I want to talk to you about 2 ideas that I study and teach: democracy and citizenship. But to do that, I want to start with a story about a wedding. I've been married to my husband, Marland, for 12 years. I remember our wedding like it was yesterday, very, very fondly. It was wonderful in every single way. It was a rare, humidity-free, cloudless DC day. The people we love and who love us were with us, and I can still hear all of those voices blending as we sang "Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee." I still remember my dad refusing to let go of my arm when we got to the altar. I still remember my mother and my mother-in-law laughing with the minister, and that last dance with my amazing new husband to Let's Stay Together. It was perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. But as the years have passed, and as the photographs have been put away, what I find myself thinking about most are those times in between. The first day when I met Marland, and every day since, our late-night conversations, laughing so hard that we can't breathe and that we're crying, his unwavering support when my mother became ill and passed, how he has grown to know me better than anyone else in the world, and I him. Friends, I share this with you because you know, better than anyone, that milestone events like graduations and weddings are important. But it is those in-between times that make a life. Let's be clear, I am not saying that graduations mean so little that you should fall asleep right now. And I heard about some of the night that you all had last night, so I know that's very possible. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that for all of the planning and the pomp and the circumstance and the anticipation and the expectation, your graduation itself is mostly symbolic. My prediction is that what will stay with you for the rest of your lives is what happened in between the day that you arrived at beautiful grounds and this moment right now. Late night conversations with roommates, meals at the dining hall with new friends, a class discussion that changed your entire perspective. Coffee and bagels at Bodo's, trips to the library, music practices, cheering for the Who's, who can forget that national championship, or all of those national championships. What you did during the long, dark days of the pandemic, the moments you took to seek career advice, and of course, the Zoom meetings. Now, I've also been thinking a lot lately about elections. Presidential elections, of course, are the most salient. As US citizens, we are often told every 4 years that this is the most important election of our lifetimes. We get out the vote, we watch our network of choice late into the night, and for many of us, the conclusion of those elections is deeply personal. We're elated when our candidate wins, we're demoralized when our candidate loses. And the truth is that presidential elections are important, and voting is one of our most precious rights and responsibilities. But elections are necessary, not sufficient, to sustain democracy. Democracy, like life, is realized and strengthened in those in-between times. Like what happens between your first day of school and graduation, it turns out that the everyday actions of citizens can and do pave our country's path. It is what each of us chooses to do during those in-between times that strengthens our institutions and holds our elected officials accountable, that animates our democratic principles and aspirations, that builds and defines our democratic culture. And it requires each of us, whatever our skills, to contribute. No matter what you studied here at the University of Virginia, no matter your career path or your current job, you have a role to play as a citizen. I will say that again. You have a role to play as a citizen. The pandemic has brought this idea into clear focus. Before the pandemic, did anyone think readily that virologists, immunologists, and epidemiologists were critical to our democracy? But their life's work has informed the public policy response to one of the greatest disasters of our lifetime, and ultimately will bring the pandemic to an end, averting untold suffering and death. Healthcare workers, whether they're in large urban hospitals or small rural clinics, small practices, yes, healthcare workers, healthcare workers. No matter who they are, no matter who you are, their acts of care, large and small, contribute to the health and resiliency of communities across the country. At your virtual graduation ceremony last year, we heard a beautiful and moving performance by my friend cellist Yo-Yo Ma. What you might not know is that Yo-Yo, who regularly plays on international stages, thinks of himself as a citizen artist. He's working in communities using the arts to help students improve math and reading skills at the lowest performing schools in the country, and he's encouraging other artists to do the same. Or take Barbara Rose Johns. In the 1950s, she was a 16-year-old African-American student who led a walkout to protest the poor conditions at the segregated R.R. Moton High School in Prince Edward County, Virginia. Rather than build a new facility to accommodate the increased student body, the school board had built structures of plywood and tar paper that lacked heating and plumbing. Barbara rallied her classmates for a sustained boycott that gained the attention of civil rights lawyers Spotswood Robinson and Oliver Hill, and the rest was history. A student-led boycott for a better segregated school became the quest for school desegregation, and a lawsuit, which became one of 5, rolled into the landmark 1954 decision, Brown versus Board of Education. That was 16-year-old Barbara Johns. Fast forward to 2006. the residents of Milwaukee, Wisconsin decided to take on a problem that many cities have, poverty. And then by 2008, they realized that a significant driver of that problem was another, teen pregnancy. In fact, among big cities, Milwaukee's teen pregnancy problem was second only to Philadelphia. So leaders of the United Way, the city's health commissioner, public school leaders and teachers, the mayor, business leaders, the University of Wisconsin, the publisher of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, members of the faith community, and others set a huge goal. They said, as a community, we're going to reduce the teen pregnancy rate by 46% by the year 2015. Working together, they moved faster than they thought they would, and by 2013, the teen pregnancy rate dropped to 56%. So then they set another even larger goal, and today, teen birth rates have dropped by 65%. And as Nicole Angarzano of the United Way said, this community fought for these outcomes. Across zip codes, across demographics, across constituencies, we have come together for the sake of our young people. So you're wondering, what's the lesson for democracy? Class of 2020, where are those of you who are educators, journalists, and economists? Just wave your hands. Where are you? We need you. Democracy needs you. Those of you who are scientists, mathematicians, data scientists, there's work to be done. Where are you? Yeah, And those of you who are musicians and actors, artists, writers, filmmakers, your skills aren't just needed, they are required. Whether your degree was in commerce or the humanities or the sciences, your talent, your perspective, your commitment to democracy will determine our path forward. Collectively, we need all of you. We strengthen our nation and our communities when we work every day to improve lives and create an environment so others can also succeed. Every citizen can do this. Every citizen must do this, for it is literally our collective actions that determine our success or failure as a country. The story of America is complicated. It's like us. It's noble, and it is paradoxical. But ultimately, it is about the expansion of freedom and opportunity. We might hope for faster progress or quicker results, but the slope of that arc depends on us. So it is my greatest wish for you, class of 2020, that you ask yourselves, are you treating citizenship like a noun or a verb? And not just on election day, but every day. Coach a team, help a neighbor. That person with whom you disagree, engage them, listen to them again and again and again. Run for office. Organize a social media campaign. Use your professional path to make this country more just, more free, more equitable, more secure, and more vibrant. And by all means, vote. Your actions or your decision not to act come with their own consequences. I urge you not to delegate those responsibilities and tasks to others, but embrace the fulfillment that can come from taking part in democracy. And remember, it is in those in-between times that we can truly fulfill the promise of robust self-governance, a thriving democracy, and a meaningful life. Congratulations, class of 2020, and thank you for having me with you.
Please welcome singer, songwriter, and class of 2017 alumnus, Nathan Kohlberg, for a special performance.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nathan. It's so good to be here. It's an honor for me to help celebrate y'all. As you've heard 1,000 times, you deserve it. This song I wrote a couple years back is called Charlottesville. Cheapest cigars in hand as we sat on the marble stairs and put words to a story that we didn't know. Dusted piano keys as a song blows across 14th and the floorboards sing to their own melody. So don't go, Charlottesville. Meet me by the pillars that hide you and write me the letter that I wrote you. 'Cause I'm coming back to you. And we ran the southern route and the grass stained the soles of our shoes, but nothing could hold us back that night. So don't go, Charlottesville. Leave me by the pillars that hide you and write me the letter that I wrote you. 'Cause I'm coming back to you. Oh, don't go, yeah. Oh, don't go, yeah. Oh, don't go, yeah. Said, oh, don't go, yeah. So don't go, Charlottesville. Leave me by the pillars that hide you and write me the letter that I wrote you. 'Cause I'm coming back to you. Yeah, I'm coming back to you. I'm coming back to you. Love y'all. Thank you.
Now, please welcome the President and Vice President of the Class of 2020, Omar Halaj and Ginny Brooks.
It's been a whole year. Even though it's been a year, I still remember going to Grit every day thinking we'd be productive, only to greet every friend that walked through the door.
One whole year since I convinced myself every morning that I could make it from my room to Newcastle in 1 minute.
I recall yelling at the TV telling Kihei Clark to shoot the three when he had an open look. I still do that, actually.
Even though it's been a year, I still plan the weekend as if Sunday is entirely reserved for council or chapter or CIO meetings.
And thinking, I don't get paid enough for this.
We didn't get paid at all.
Precisely. Even though it's been almost 400 evenings, I haven't adjusted to living without neighbors who threw mind-numbingly loud parties every single night.
A whole revolution around the sun, and I can't get walk sign is on to cross Brandon Avenue out of my head.
It's
been
a whole
more than a year.
Since everyone suddenly became obsessed with Netflix documentaries about animals. My octopus teacher, Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
Don't forget Tiger King.
Oh dear Lord. It's been more than a year since Zoom trivia became the only way my friends would want to hang out with me during quarantine. Or since I've started my new quarantine hobby of raising houseplants.
And doing crosswords.
And baking sourdough bread.
And listening to podcasts.
And cooking divine meals.
And starting virtual book clubs.
And learning TikTok dances.
And yogaing with Adrian.
And learning Italian.
You did Duolingo for 1 day.
2 days.
Sure. And most importantly, becoming a coffee connoisseur.
It's been more than a year since I've started watching the British reality TV show Love Island. And once I was... Right, if you're not on it, get on it. And once I was really rocking and rolling, averaging 5 episodes.
5
Count
episodes?
them, 5 episodes a night.
Part of me is impressed, another part of me is terrified.
The funny thing is that every single night, I'd ask myself, why did I do that? In a way, the question of why did I do that, or why did we do that, has become the most principal question of the pandemic. When every aspect of your routine is disrupted, it makes sense to reevaluate what you've always thought to be normal.
Like walking the lawn for graduation. Why do we do that?
Or letting clandestine groups of students spray paint letters on academic buildings. Why do we do that?
What about students living in lawn rooms? Why do we do that?
Wait, I got one. Having students drink a gallon of chocolate milk during the final football game of the year instead of consuming something else. Why don't we do that?
I think we all know why we don't do that.
Touche. The point is, we can look back at this year and see the obvious loss that we've had, but we can also utilize our experiences at UVA to think more critically about the world around us. We did not leave this institution, and university, that is, steeped with a breadth of knowledge and relationships and experiences, and be satisfied with what is normal. For me, the past year has made me appreciate the need to keep questioning. I question my assumptions, my organizations, and my superiors. If there's anything that a place like UVA can teach you, it's that tradition is overrated. As we look back on our 3.75 years at UVA and look forward to the brighter and more normal days ahead, don't forget to keep questioning why we act the way that we do.
Omar and I are not the first graduation speakers to reevaluate our idea of normal. When Lady Bird Johnson addressed the University of Virginia graduating class of 1973, she did too. She asked the class to consider that in addition to acknowledging the enduring frameworks, especially in the traditions at UVA, we as students and as members of a community must constantly search for new understandings and new meanings so we can establish standards that are more relevant to our lives and our times. We are not bound and limited by tradition, although UVA might teach us otherwise. Our norms are built by our actions, and change is made by articulating the issues we face as individuals and as a community. We are responsible for establishing new understandings and new meanings. After all, we are in Scott Stadium, a year after finishing our time at UVA, online, sitting physically distanced from one another just to celebrate the community that we have created. Looking back at our years here, we search for new understanding and new meaning, and we establish standards for our time. Our search has and will continue beyond our time at UVA.
All in all, I think our questioning has helped us realize what's truly necessary in our lives. And one of those things is our UVA family.
We could not get here alone. Thank you, parents, teachers, mentors, professors, friends, and family for your unwavering support that allowed us to be here today, graduating from the University of Virginia.
And to those joining us virtually, we celebrate you too.
To the class of 2020, thank you for being the best class we could have asked for. We love you dearly.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
And now, please turn your attention to the screen for a special video greeting to the class of 2020.
What's up, 2020? I'm Micah Harris.
Hi everybody, my name's Julia Coatman.
Hi everyone, my name's Allie.
My name's Zach.
This is Catherine Lawler.
My name is Grant Tabler.
My name is Juliana Parra.
My name is Sarah Dudley.
I'm Virginia Chambers.
My name is Chesden.
And I graduated from the College of Arts and Sciences.
I'm a graduate of the higher education program.
I majored in computer science.
I am a graduate of the School of Medicine.
Of the Master of Education, Student Affairs Practice and Higher Education program.
And I graduated from McIntyre.
I double majored in computer engineering and insomnia at the University of Virginia.
Since graduation, I have been staying in Charlottesville working at the UVA health system.
I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas, where I'm currently staying with my mom.
I'm currently at UVA, where I spent the past year working on projects as a studio art fellow.
I'm coming to you today from Key West, Florida.
This past year I've been in New York in grad school.
I moved to Arlington, Virginia and started a new job.
Currently living in Washington, D.C., working for an OBGYN office.
And I'm coming to you from my family home.
I'm a doctor up in Boston now. I work as a pediatrician.
I'm here in my backyard at my house where I've been for the past year, working remotely for the Michigan State Senate.
I've been organizing to make college more affordable.
This year I've been living at home and working for a nonprofit called the Literacy Lab in DC.
I work now as an immigration paralegal.
I've been working full-time at a quantitative hedge fund and pursuing my master's degree in data science from UVA School of Data Science.
And now I am back getting my master's in public policy, and I am also working at Purvello as a spin instructor.
I have been working as a K-12 research associate at a company called EAB and living with my wonderful parents in our home.
Since quarantine has started, I have been honing my cooking skills and got to host my own cooking show.
During the day, I'm a software engineer, and at night, I've been working on building a business and a YouTube channel.
While not working, I've been trying to cultivate a green thumb and try out some new recipes in the kitchen.
Spending time with family and trying but not succeeding on training my dog.
And this fall I'll be going to med school.
One of my favorite memories at UVA is
third year when we had the snowball fight and it was snowing and it was finals the next day and all, and got to get a little break and experience some fun times on the lawn.
The sort of spontaneous late night conversations or ukulele sing-alongs with my hallmates.
A lot of my favorite memories of UVA come from spending time with its wonderful sculpture community.
It's definitely the lighting of the lawn. It's something that my whole friend group looks forward to, and it's a great event where the community can come together for some good music and great vibes.
My favorite UVA memory was attending the men's basketball championship in Minneapolis.
during first year when a few friends and I roamed around grounds at night taking ridiculous photos next to the secret society decals on the buildings.
The thing I miss the most about UVA is
the people and the great friends that I made.
Definitely the people.
And all of our late night dance parties.
Being able to walk to class and see all of my friends.
And all being together. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that one more time.
I'm so happy that we get to share this experience together.
I can't wait to see you all out there.
Can't wait to celebrate the class of 2020 with all of you.
Special shout out to the ladies of 1701.
A shout out to Dr. Christian Steinmetz for being a wonderful role model to us as first generation college students.
Quick shout out to all my friends down in Charlottesville this weekend. I miss you guys so much. I wish I could be there to celebrate with you.
I want to also give a shout out to those who are unable to attend in person today. I know it's a very difficult thing, so my heart goes out to you.
I wish you all find joy and peace and happy graduation.
So cheers to new adventures, cheers to the class of 2020.
You are gonna go off to do incredible things.
Happy graduation, class of 2020.
Wahoo!
Class of 2020, congratulations. You more than any other class deserve an incredible day for your accomplishment. I hope it's a wonderful day walking the lawn, and there's a proverb I share with my team that says, a desire accomplished is sweet to the soul. And again, what you've accomplished, what you've endured more than any other class is something to be so proud and thankful for. And you've learned the valuable, precious gift of patience along the way. So remember, once a Wahoo, always a Wahoo. If you're ever in the area, come on and check out the the Cavaliers, and we are all so proud of you. I know your family members and friends know how special this day is, so thanks for being part of an incredible university. As always, go Hoos.
The President of the University.
One year ago, with the deans of the university's 12 schools, I formally conferred 7,162 degrees for the class of 2020 during our first ever virtual final exercises. Those degrees included 4,170 baccalaureate degrees, 468 first professional degrees, and 2,524 graduate degrees, including 294 PhDs, 14 EDDs, 18 doctors of nursing practice, and 8 doctors of juridical science degrees. Today, it is my honor to reconfer those degrees with the help of our Executive Vice President and Provost, Liz McGill. Provost McGill, will you please come forward to present the candidates for reconferral?
I will. Will the members of the class of 2020 from the School of Architecture, the Frank Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy, the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, and the School of Data Science please rise and remain standing? Will the members of the class of 2020 from the Darden School of Business, the School of Education and Human Development, please rise and remain standing? Will the members of the class of 2020 from the School of Engineering and Applied Science, the School of Law, and the School of Medicine please rise and remain standing? Will the members of the class of 2020 from the McIntire School of Commerce, the School of Nursing, oh, I think there's one more, the College and Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Provost, I have the honor to present these members of the class of 2020 who have successfully completed all requirements of their degrees from the University of Virginia.
By the power vested in me, I reconfer upon you one or more of your earned degrees with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to pursue truth and justice in all of your endeavors and to advance our common purpose and the common good. And I wish you good health and good luck in all that you do. Congratulations.
Woo! The University of Virginia alumni from the class of 2020 can please be seated. The President and CEO of the University of Virginia Alumni Association, Lily West.
Class of 2020, let me congratulate you, or re-congratulate you, on the reconferring of your degrees. You earned them many times over. You rounded out your time at the university under the most challenging of circumstances. It's a tribute to your character, grit, and perseverance. You bounced back. And now you've come back to take part in these special final exercises convened in your well-deserved and overdue honor. So welcome back and wahoo wah. I'm Lily West, President and CEO of the UVA Alumni Association, and I am honored to be with you today. Let me officially welcome you to our family. It comes, of course, a year late. On the other hand, your being part of the Alumni Association was never delayed. We've considered you part of the family since last May. That's one thing we refuse to let COVID disrupt. Even better, you will be part of the UVA alumni family for the rest of your lives. Part of the growing global 250,000 member Wahoo community that stands ready to help you in the years ahead. I can tell you from my own experience that your connections to UVA will only strengthen over time. While your careers and lives may take you far away from grounds, I hope you return to this special place often. And when you do, know that you always have a home at Alumni Hall. I also hope that you continue to connect with and take care of each other. If history is a guide, then the relationships forged with your fellow alumni will be cherished, lasting, and, dare I say, life-changing. Congratulations again, class of 2020. We could not be more proud of you. Welcome back, welcome to the family, and wahoo wah!
Now please welcome member of the class of 2020, Hannah Sims, for a special performance.
I'm Hannah. I'm going to read a poem for you, which I wrote at 3 a.m. from my parents' house last March. It was published in UVA Arts Magazine last spring. But today, I've added 3 stanzas in honor of us all being here today together. Had I known you wouldn't be here with me, I would have woken up for that brunch. I would have gone on that hike. I would have played that prank. I would have skipped that interview. I would have gone to the party. I would have visited you when you were sick. I would have stayed the night. Had I known our semester would vanish, I would have walked slowly. I would have walked slowly out of the classroom, wrestling Rousseau with my professor. I would have walked slowly to class, hiding my headphones to say hello to my first-year hallmate who just passed by. I would have walked right up to him, head held high, and asked for his number. I would have walked with you. Had I known I'd never walk with you again, I would have walked slowly. Had I walked slowly, had I lifted my gaze from the ground, maybe I would have noticed the clock at the top of the rotunda. Maybe I would have noticed the brilliant spring sun bouncing off that black and gold eye holding watch over the university. As generations have hurried underhead, its hands keep turning unnoticed. Had I slowed to look, I would have noticed a pattern upon Jefferson's pediment. How strange it is that when we stare, the clock hands seem to hold time still. Yet, when we forget to watch, the hands reel ahead and steal away our favorite seconds. Had I known that conversation would be our last, I would have told you how much I loved you. Had I known that hug would be how I remembered you, I would have held on. Time flies and people hurry, but memories seem to stroll along. The memories I hold of you stroll slowly across my mind without direction. We've learned and lived so much these last 4 years, but now the clock is up. Had I been watching time as it had been watching me, I would have strolled with you like our memories. Time, no doubt, will trip us with more tests, but fortified by our memories of Virginia, the class of 2020 will rise above the rest. We have at last walked the lawn. We have at last worn the honor of honors. Go forth today with our memories of yesterday, knowing we will always be legends tomorrow. Bells toll the hours and clocks keep ticking, but our time, strolling Virginia's Corinthian columns, will forever be memorialized in marble stone. Congrats, class of 2020. We finally graduated.
The president of the university.
I know by this point you're tired of seeing me, so we're going to bring this ceremony to a close. I'd like to thank our Grand Marshal and thank all of the performers and speakers who were spectacular. I have one item of housekeeping before we conclude, and that is that graduates should stay at their seats until after this platform party has exited the field, and then you should proceed to exit using the tunnel. In closing, I'd like to share with you one of my favorite quotes from the poet Robert Frost, who once wrote that home is the place where, when you go there, they have to take you in. Now, you might find this a slightly begrudging way to describe home, as there's a hint of forced welcome in the phrase, have to take you in. But to me, this line has always captured something essential about home. Home is a place where you can always return. It's a place where you'll always be let in without question and no matter what. In this sense, as Lily West just described, UVA will always be your home. You can count on us. And I can promise the welcome you'll receive will never be grudging, but instead full-fledged and full-hearted. One of the reasons we invited all of you back and are hosting 2 ceremonies because so many of you wanted to return is because this is home to all of you. You are all welcome here. You always will be. So please know that no matter how far you travel, no matter how long you're gone, we will leave the lights on for you. Godspeed and congratulations. And now for one final surprise, I ask that you turn your attention to the screen for the last element of our ceremony. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephen Colbert.
And I'm Evie McGee Colbert, UVA class of 1985.
And we want to wish you congratulations on your graduation from UVA.
We know it's been a difficult and weird year, but you made it.
Well done.
Here to help you celebrate, ladies and gentlemen, the Fort Lee Army Band playing the good old song.
Please sing along. You know what to do. And again, congrats.